Okay, Tosh, can you all hear me now? And hey, Ashley boy mom, I finally see my thing moving, so I feel like you all can hear me. So, Tosh, I am so glad that you came over and said something because I had already been talking for like 10, 15. Well, let me see. I've been already on live 10 minutes. I was talking. So I'm sure no one heard anything that I said. Okay. Let me start off a little bit. Thank you, Ashley Boy Mom and Tosh. I really do appreciate that because I was really just over here live for like 10 minutes talking already, and no one probably heard anything. So we're gonna say that we starting our equally yoked conversation at 9 o'clock. Um I'm gonna start again pretty much. Give you all a rundown of what I was just saying for the last 10 minutes. Okay, so basically just going over what I was discussing a few minutes ago prior to Tosh coming over and letting me know that I had no sound. So you all know that I had a schedule live today for an open conversation around equally yoked individuals. Hi Terry, thank you for dropping that disclaimer. And so that's what our topic is going to be about. I do appreciate all of you all who are over here, who are watching, those of you who feel comfortable commenting or comment up on the panel to give your thoughts, feelings, or opinions. I would greatly appreciate it. Yes, I am in here. I tried to make sure that I am in the. No, she's not. She went downstairs. I tried to pretty much make sure that I was in a quiet space so that I can talk to you all, engage with you all. And of course, here and there, you may hear my two babies, but all in all, we are good to go for the rest of the evening. I am trying to get a lot of people to engage more so that it's just not one person talking, but whatever makes you all comfortable, I am okay with that. So I'm going to close the door really quickly. Well, I should say rather keep it cracked a little bit. How is everybody Friday going? Or how has it been? So, we will be discussing the meaning of being equally yoked. We will discuss what being equally yoked looks like. We will discuss the feeling someone will experience or feel, and we will also discuss alignment. So those were my four bullet points on my community wall, and that's what we'll discuss. Also, I put on my community wall if you all feel more comfortable with just putting your thoughts, opinions, and feelings in the chat, that's fine. I'll read them and then we can still have conversation that way. If anybody feels like if anybody feels like they want to come up on the panel and talk about their thoughts, feelings, or give a different opinion or perspective, I would greatly appreciate that as well. But it's whatever makes you all comfortable. It says Big Mama. Boy, what the kids doing? They're running around and playing with their cousins right now. Okay. So I just kind of broke down the four bullet points for what we will talk about. So as I was stating before, there's a biblical meaning of being equally yoked. Some people have their own meaning what being equally yoked means. And then of course, as always, there's a Google definition of being equally yoked. So I'm going to break down again, there are several Google meanings of equally yoked. So I just picked one. There are several links that you could have clicked and went in depth. I just picked the very first one that I saw. So I'm going to tell you all the Google definition. I'm going to tell you the biblical definition, and then we'll get into our like perspective or our meaning of being equally yoked. Sounds good, everybody? Everybody still here? Okay. So I got y'all here. I don't think I'm seeing any new comments. I just want to make sure that I got everything. As this is my first panel, and I want to make sure that I'm able to see people. Okay, making sure nobody is backstage. I'm just trying to get acclimated with everything. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Ashley Boy Mom. Okay, so the Google definition of equally yoked. This is exactly what it said, and it was very brief. Equally yoked is a metaphor describing partners who are well matched and moving in the same direction. Let me say that again so you all can hear it again. This is the Google definition. Google definition that I picked, it says equally yoked is a metaphor describing partners who are well matched and moving in the same direction. So I have a few all over here. Do you all agree or disagree? You can put a 1 in the chat if you agree. You can put a 2 in the chat if you disagree. And it was literally like 2 to 3 lines on the Google. I'll let you all put something in the chat if you agree or disagree, or you can say agree or disagree, but I know it may be a little deeper. So 1, Ashley Boy Mom. Okay, so Ashley Boy Mom, you said that you agree with the Google meaning. And I'm sure you may have a in-depth definition, but those were just what I saw. Okay. The mob sheet put a 1, so he agrees with the Google definition. Tosh said 1 and 2. Okay, Tosh, you kind of challenging us. Tell me in the chat what you agree with and disagree with. I'll read it and then we can go forward. We can move forward. If you don't mind, Tosh. And I'll give you a second, Tosh, or I can just always go back. I'll go back. Okay. The shoes are downstairs. Go ahead. Okay, looks like we got a comment for Tosh. I want to read it. Okay, so Tosh, you said, it says, hey, Coach K, mods in chat. Hey, KG, how you doing? And you all know I don't got no mods. I got to get some. I'm not that advanced just yet. Tosh says, agree, being equally with each other, but you have to be equal with God first. Okay. I can see that. Happy Friday, KG. I say, Ashley Boymont says, I say 1 and 2 as well, to be honest, because it's so much can be said and go on within relationships. You definitely can say that. You definitely can say that, Ashley Boy Mom. A lot does come with being in a relationship. There's a lot of commitment. There's a lot of work that has to be done on both ends. Okay, so I'm gonna move it along because I know that I came on late anyways. So just moving along. But I want to again engage a little more over here when I have stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about let's define the biblical term or meaning of, excuse me, y'all, of being equally yoked. Now, once I read to you all what I found, I'm actually going to play the New King James version on my phone because I do have the Bible app on my phone. So I'll go to the actual scripture and let you all hear that. According to the Bible meaning, it does references 2 Corinthians. So that's where I'll be listening or letting you all listen. It says, from Ashley Boy Mom, but what we all have to understand and know that there's no perfect relationship. So we have to be ready in all and to weather the storm during tough times, even if nothing's bad going on and wrong as an abuse. Ashley Boy Mom, I definitely agree with you. I do believe that there is no perfect relationship. And I also believe that no one is perfect. Like there's no perfect individual. I believe that, there's no perfect parent. In reality, there's no book on how to parent. There's no book on how to be the perfect wife. There's no book on how to be the perfect husband. There's no book on how to have a perfect relationship. So I do agree with you. There's a lot of things that you all have to work on together, and you all have to have similar things or wants in order to make things work in a relationship. Now, I don't want to say too much because then I'll be going into all my other topics. Miss Barbara said, "Hey, Kay. Hey, Miss Barbara. How you doing? Hope you are enjoying this Friday, and I hope all is well with you. Come on over, Miss Barbara, and join us. Miss Barbara is needed because we about to get into the biblical term anyways. Okay, so like I was saying, equally yoked reference 2 Corinthians. So the Bible meaning is what I came to say. Bible meaning or biblical, it says, do not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship has righteousness with lawlessness? So if anyone else want to break that down to me, you all are more than free to put it in the chat to break that down. Just no violence, etc. is what Ashley Boyd Mom says. Tosh says, Miss Barbara, I know you're familiar with this subject. Yes. Hold on, you guys. I still want to make sure that no one is in the back. I just want to make sure that no one is, trying to come on stage. But what I'm going to do is, again, I'm new to it. I'm going to drop the link. I'm catching on to this YouTube stuff. Drop the link for anyone that does want to come up when they feel comfortable. There's the link. Okay. The mob sheet says non-believers, meaning that you still don't have to be equally yoked, but still want the same thing. Now, who all agrees with that? Do you truly think that you have to be a believer when it comes to Christ and faith to be equally yoked with someone? Or do you believe that you don't have to be a believer to still want the same thing? That is a good question. Can anyone answer that or put their opinions in there about that? Hi, Miss Sunflower. She said, yes, you do. Can you elaborate a little bit, Sunflower, in the chat for me? Are you saying that you are agreeing that someone has to, or you both have to be believers in faith in Christ in order to be equally yoked? And thank you for being over here, Sunflower. Miss Barbara says you have to be equally yoked with your mate. Says, hello, Queen. I agree, Miss Barbara. Oh, yes, Kay, we leaving the hospital now. Baby boy good and Cass back on. He had to get a fresh one, so walking to the car now. And I definitely appreciate you, Ashley Boy Mom. You came over here, you still handling your duties and you still came over here to support me. So I thank you. And I hope you all have safe travels back home. And make sure you sign baby boy Cass, okay? Make sure y'all definitely sign his Cass. It says, I don't know. I don't think equally yoked means I make $32 an hour, so you should too. LOL. I It's what? See, it's so much deeper than just money. It's so much deeper than money. So I'm letting you all kind of talk in the chat. I kind of gave you all the biblical meaning of being equally yoked. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull it up on my Bible app because like I stated before, because I was on here, you guys, thanks to Tosh, I was literally on live talking for like 10 minutes and there was no sound. No one, like I had people looking, but no one commented and said, oh, no sound or anything. So it's definitely spiritual. Barbara. Sunflower says, oh, it's coming in fast. Sunflower, let me go up a little bit. Sunflower, I saw the comment, but okay, hold on. Let me see if it let me go up. I know it was something about a laptop. It says, wait, let me get my laptop. I want to come up. I would love to have you, Sunflower. I'll drop the link. I dropped it before and I'll drop it throughout. Miss Barbara said it's spiritual Q, which I agree. And Q says that's what I'm talking about is deeper than money. Correct. It is deeper than money. But you only came and made a statement or made an example about money. So that's what we were talking about. Ashley Boy Mom says, yes, I know you know with our busybody kids, LOL. I just know they'll play good together. Yes. Yes, they will. And my baby, I get that a lot. I mean, the teachers tell me that when we're outside of events. I mean, they tell me all the time that they can see where my the kids' personality come from because I'm the same way. Like I'm very bubbly when I'm, meeting new people. I'm a hugger for the most part. Like if I get that bad, sometimes, of course, in professional settings, I may shake your hand and introduce myself. But for the most part, I am a hugger. I'm very bubbly. I really consider myself a social butterfly, and my kids, they are the same way. Of course, they know stranger danger and all of that, so they know. So let me go ahead and pull up this app really quickly. Like I said, I definitely have the Bible app on my phone. It sends me scriptures in the morning. It's actually a really good app if all of you don't have it. So let's kind of hear. Let me make sure my volume is up a little bit. And I'm on my laptop, so I wish I could have. They are always busy in stores. Yes, they are. Tosh hit us with one. Let me go up, read the comments before I pull it up. Ashley Boy Mom says, you're still learning this YouTube, so it's more to come. Sis, you got this. You're such an intelligent and inspirational woman / mom. Thank you so much. You'll have me on here crying. Thank you so much. That is very heartfelt. Now, Tosh says, God said in Proverbs 18:22, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord and have favor from God. Amen to that. Come on, Tosh. Come through, Tosh. I already know. I know that he who finds a wife finds a good thing. Ms. Barbara said, okay, they're always busy in the store. Yes, they are. Let me go down a little bit. Spec came in here. Hey, Spec. Happy Friday. How are you? Thank you for being over here. Ashley Bormont says, yes, you have such a positive person and vibe. YouTube will love you. Let's get into this great topic of discussion. Thank you all. Look, it's more to come. I promise you all. Let me pull it up. Let me see. And I want to make sure that it's very loud. So I'm going to, again, same thing that I found on Google. We're going to listen to the 2 Corinthians. This is the King James version, by the way. So I want to make sure that I have it on speaker, and let me know if you all can hear me. Opposites definitely attract. Oh, someone said, oh, you think that too?
Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness?
Let's see. So they gave us a preview. Let me go and see if we can read the whole thing.
For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? And what concord hath Christ with Belial? Or what part hath he that believeth with an infidel? And what agreement hath the temple of God with idols? For ye are the temple of the living God. As God hath said, I will dwell in them, and walk in them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you, and will be a father unto you, And ye shall be my sons and daughters, saith the Lord Almighty.
All right, you guys. So that is my King James version. That's on my Bible app. If you all don't have that, make sure you download it. Get in tune with the Lord's words, okay? And look, it is 9:20. I had just got me and the kids some food. We have been out. Kay, do you know how to pin Terry copyright comment? No, let's see. Let's figure it out together. Hey Tay, thank you for being over here. Thank you for your support. Let me see, Tosh. Let me go up and see if I can pin it. Okay, drop the link. All right, Miss Sunflower is ready. Miss Barbara said, "What fellowship can light have with darkness?" Correct. Correct. Tay, thank you for being over here. Q says, opposites attraction is stronger. Okay, could you explain that a little more in the chat for us, Q? Let me see if I can. I'm gonna drop the link for you, Sunflower, and also let me see if I can pin Terry's comment. Thank you again, Terry, for that. So give me a second. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, Ashley Boy Mom says, you know how people always say why he with her or why she with him. I say possibly for many reasons, or one may not know. I want to make sure I said that right. Agree, but I definitely agree with you, Ashley Boy Mom. I agree with you also because people can be with someone for different reasons, and then those reasons could be different from what like other people see, if I'm making sense. So it's like other people can ask those questions or be wondering why a person is with another person, but only that person truly knows why they're with that person, or what makes them attracted to that person. So let me drop the link and then let me go up to Terry's comment really quickly. Where you at? But thank you all for being over here and supporting me. I really do appreciate it. I'm trying to find Terry's comment. Let's see if we can pin it. It should be, let's see. So Tosh, I see like the three little things, but it says delete comment, put user in timeout, or ban user and delete comments. And that's not what I want to do. Let me see. And then it has a star. So I just put a star by it. Can you all tell me if that's pinning it or not? Let me drop this link. Tell me if it's pinned, you guys, because all I did was hit the star on it, but it didn't say pin. Let's go to the new comments. Also, people come in people's lives for a reason, and some for a season, but God chose a purpose. Agree to that. People could be a lesson or a blessing. Of course, Kay, you know your girls got you in here to support. Yes, I like it. Are you showing content, Kay? No, I I'm not showing any content spec. I played the Bible verse, but that was pretty much it. It's gonna be like open conversation, an open panel. I'm about to drop the link now. You say you don't see it? All righty, we got Miss Sunflower who has entered the studio. Let's go ahead and add to stage. Hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you, Miss Sunflower?
I'm doing great.
Well, thank you for
Okay.
being over here. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go ahead and state your feelings, your thoughts, and opinions. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was gonna first say this is such a great topic. This is really this is really good, and you have got to be a believer of
Thank
God
you. Thank you.
to even pick this because outside of that, many wouldn't have chose this as a topic, but it's such a really good one, and we can go on and on for days with it. But I won't hold up. I love talking about stuff like this, but I hope everyone has had a great day and have a great weekend. But so you're talking about being equal. Can you still be equally yoked if one is a believer and one is not? Is
Correct.
that what you were asking?
I did ask
So,
that, so we can go back to that.
so it is two sides of that. So it depends on how those two in the relationship are viewing it. And because you are a believer, so whoever you're with, if they're not a believer, it would be hard for you. You won't be able to be equally yoked. Because how can two agree? How can two be one unless they agree?
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. So outside of Christ, two can love each other deeply. We can respect each other. We can share the same morals, have a healthy relationship in some ways. But we would not be able to be equally yoked in the biblical sense because our deeper source of truth, worship, purpose, and authority is different. Does that make sense?
Now, sunflower, it definitely makes sense. I actually prepared some little notes because you got on here and you're actually hitting like next topic. So while I have you on here, again, you could feel free to say, I wanted to ask you this question then. If
Hmm.
two individuals are not equally yoked, do you think that the signs or some of the signs that show that they're not equally yoked or aligned would be like frustration or stress or feeling drained within their relationship?
Well, that's as for you can't go off of emotions as far as knowing if you're equally yoked because our feelings change. I can be equally, I'm equally yoked to my husband, but emotionally, we're not on the same page. If we both went off of how we feel from day to day, we wouldn't be equally yoked at all because if I'm on my monthly cycle and I'm very transparent, so I'm just being honest with my wording. So
Okay.
if it's the monthly thing going on, I feel different during that time. I don't want to be bothered with certain things, certain conversations. So I'm emotionally in a different place. If you see what I'm saying. If he had a rough
Okay.
day, if he comes home, he had a rough day at work, he needs time to get his thoughts together. I give him that space. Or we come together and we start arguing. We immediately, the first thought should never be, okay, well, we must not be equally yoked because of this.
Correct.
Emotions change. So we can't go off of that to say we're not on the same, we're not equally yoked. Equally yoked would still go back to those other things. It's simply it's meaning from the Bible. Like really, if we both got a relationship with God, if we both have to be believers, there's no way that I would be with my husband if he did not love Christ.
Mm,
That was first and foremost when we were dating. um I picked that up on him when I first met him. He loves his daughter, he loves God. So I knew he loves God. I knew God showed me he was going to know how to love me correctly because he
mm.
loved the Lord.
Oh,
So
that is deep. That is
so
deep.
that's all. I won't keep talking. I'll get quiet so you can respond right there.
No, that's perfect. Like I said, you can be up here as long as you want to. I definitely appreciate it because it's my very first time doing like an actual panel. Um, Going just gonna read little comments really quickly. So I know Tosh said a lot of signs will show, and God will show you if you are not equally yoked. I definitely agree, Tosh.
Mhm.
If you want to come up to say the signs, or Sunflower, if you would like to say, again from your experience or just your opinion on what signs will kind of show that you and someone is not equally yoked, that is really good. We can discuss that. Tosh also said, hold on, let me see. Oh, so Tosh gave us again, she gave us three examples. Is it three? Is I'm reading it right? She said toxicity, drama, draining each
Mhm.
other's spirit and peace. Y'all know I'm shy on panels. It's okay. You better not be shy in person, girl. I just booked my flight. I just booked my
what
flight.
Miss I seen what Miss a lot of, yeah, that's true too. I seen what Miss Barbara Edwards said about sometimes as long as your mate wants to give his or her life to the Lord because God will use someone. That's true too.
Correct.
Because I will be like my my older children's father. He was in church, but he was not in Christ. If that makes sense. So he would
Nope,
go
I
to
know exactly
church.
what it means.
He would go to church because I would basically tell him, okay, if you don't want to go, you can go somewhere, but not here with me if you ain't going to church. So he was just going for me. But the flip side is that God can use a woman. He can use a queen to get a man to Christ. He can use you, but it's not going to be draining. If I got to beg you to go, it's got to be, you got to want to do it. Because if you are the reason why somebody is going, they're not going to keep going.
Correct. Okay, I can understand that. And
So yeah.
so, what I want to go into next, while you all are here, right? I
Mhm.
wanted to kind of talk about my interpretation or like point of view of, when I hear again elders, or when I used to hear like my mom or my dad would say, hey, this person is not, you're not equally yoked with this person, or you have to find someone equally yoked. I want to talk about just briefly like my what I thought it was, and then I want
Mhm.
you all to correct me and say, hey, yeah, this is right, Kate, or add a little more to it. Thank you, honey.
Okay.
And so pretty much like when I will used to you can go get him some in there. Go get you some juice and put a little water in it. Shut the door. Sorry, you guys. So pretty much when I used to hear like growing up, when I used to hear the term of like equally yoked, and I'm just being transparent. I'm not going to, use all big words and anything like that. Being very transparent and authentic here. So when I hear the term equally yoked in simple terms, to me it means like being with someone compatible. You all know what compatible means. So to me, it always meant being with someone who shared and wanted the same things out of life, like sharing the same goals, attitudes, your beliefs, your value, your ambition, having the same like work ethic. Because, and I say work ethic a little bit because for me, I think that if I'm telling you all, just give an example. If I say, hey, I want to go into real estate, or I want to flip properties, I want to do XYZ, right? And I'm
Mhm.
putting in all the work to do all of those things. And then I have a mate, or I'm with someone who's saying they want the same thing, but then they're not putting in no work. They don't want to get up, they don't want to take the class. They're not, spending the money, they're paying the fees. They're not taking, they're not studying, like they're not showing me the signs that they are serious about what I'm serious about. So I always felt like work ethic played a part in me looking to see if I'm equally yoked with someone. So I know that that was kind of brief. I'm not like going in depth, but that's just
Mhm.
what I've always taken from like being compatible and equally yoked with someone. So you all in the chat can tell me, if my perspective on that is not in depth or is correct, or tell me you all's.
Do you want to wait for them to
No,
share?
you're up here. That's fine. You're up here. You can go first, and then me and I do welcome you, Sunflower. If you want to read some comments off, I'll read some off. That's fine too.
Okay, I see where Tosh Tosh said that comes back to the man supposed to be the head, the leader, not being just a provider, because nowadays everybody have to provide unless we're wealthy. And that's true. That's true. That is so true. And it actually, that's I had to get to a place and get to that place, because when I got with my when my me and my husband were dating before marriage, I was independent. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to get myself away from that mindset for him to be able to lead the home. Because if we're going to follow the Bible, the man is supposed to lead, but the
Correct.
man has also gotta be under Christ. Now, if the wife is submitting to the husband should be submitting to Christ. If the husband is not doing that, who is he submitting to? For you, what is he giving you a reason to want to follow him? Why are you following him if he's not leading you in the right direction?
Correct.
This is so many, girl. This conversation can shift in so many directions. I don't want
No, that's fine. And because
to.
I fully agree. I feel like a man who leads, you are going to lead by a good example. Exactly. You're not going
Hmm.
to be out here making poor choices, but then saying you are supposed to lead. That's just
Right.
me.
And then, like, she was saying in the chat about, we can have we can both have different goals.
Now I seen
We
Tate
can
T
both
said,
be,
can
because
you
that's
or
the
Tate T tell me that when you says you can have different goals? Can you elaborate on that? So Tate, are you
Yeah.
saying that you can have different goals and still be equally yoked?
Yes, I that I she I don't know if that's how she feels about it, but yes, in my marriage, we do have my husband does two different things, and I'm in a total different place
Mm-hmm.
now.
Mm-hmm.
But equally yoked goes back to where we are spiritually. You know, we're able to. You have to be able to agree with a lot of things in the home too to be
Mm-hmm.
equally yoked. But small things like what goals, we can have goals together. Like, where do we want to be 5 years from now? We want to be in a new home. If we're in an
Mm-hmm.
apartment now, we want to buy
Mm-hmm.
a home in this amount of time. We want to do this. That's what we can do together. But we are still, even though we're one, we're still individuals
There we
that
go.
can
You said
have
it.
our own
Mm-hmm.
goals, and we have to be okay with that. And sometimes some one or the other have a hard time with that because they want them to some people want their husband or their wife to be doing what they're doing, and that
Mm-hmm.
can be a conflict if one or the other, look, I want to do this, you can do that, but let me do this. The last thing you want to do is force your mate to do what you want them to be doing. If and I have to put God in this because that's who I believe. The last thing we want to do is force our husband to do what we want them to do instead of what God placed them here to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
We want each other to fulfill our purpose while we're here. Now, if we're busy fulfilling the other person's purpose and not doing our own, that means that somebody is going to be unsatisfied, not satisfied in that marriage, in that relationship, and it's going to start being a conflict.
Agree. And going back, Tosh says um, that comes to communication in a relationship. And then Spec says two individuals working together to achieve the same goal. I agree with that, Spec. And Sunflower, going back to something you stated, you said that you were just basically saying how two people can have like different goals, but then they have the like being equally yoked goes back to Christ and other things. And you mentioned, quote me if I'm wrong, you mentioned something about like household. And so do you think that too, it does that play a part in how you all are raising your children, your foundation, building your foundation?
As far as being equally yoked,
Yes.
yes,
And
major.
hey, Miss Nadine, thank
It
you for being over here.
Yes, it plays a major part. The children are we're in the middle of that. So the
Mm-hmm.
husband is leading, sets the standard for the home. And if he's not, for instance, if we're married, if I marry this man and I'm in Christ and he's not, he ain't gonna want to go to church and I'm gonna want to go to church. So when I go to church, and I've been in this position before with a guy that I was dating,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to church and he's staying at the house. We arguing that morning before I go to church because he didn't want to go. So when I leave to go to church, I'm mad because he at the house. I come home from church mad because he at the house and didn't come to church. I went to church, learned more about Christ.
Mm-hmm.
He at the house watching football, whatever he doing, in a different mindset.
Correct.
Sometimes listening to rap and all this other filth that I didn't even want to hear. And I'm coming in the house still high from what I got from God at church. And he in the house, I can't talk to him about it because he don't want to hear it. He want to do, that's equally yoked. If you're not
Correct.
equally yoked, you will bump heads with that all the time. And that's what I did, a lot of that. Like, he just laying on the couch while I'm leaving to go to church and come back home with the kids, and you still laying in the same space. No, we not gonna do this.
Now had didn't have a productive day at all, huh?
Right. Yeah. Not at
Let
all.
me
Waiting for
let
me to
me
get back to be productive. Mm-mm.
correct. Let me go back to read Ashley Boy mom. She says, just like I have two wonderful fathers for the both of my boys. One was already self-made and the other one we leveled up together, and now here we are all on one accord with giving our boys the best. Exactly. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying too. I agree with that. agree.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
I'm
And
look,
you,
I'm that's really good that you have that. That you have, two wonderful fathers, and they're both doing what they're supposed to do, and yet you all are one. Like the agreement is what I'm saying. Like
right.
it's always the best interest of the child. So you see what I'm saying when it comes down
Because
to, again, equally yoked and wanting the same things.
you
If
can go
JT,
into,
if JT, if you're still in here, um, I know you mentioned like you could be equal yoke with different goals or different goals. So if you want to come up, I did drop the link to just kind of give me your opinions about that. Just so again, I'll have a different way to look at things, or you could put it in the chat. But I just wanted to say that. And I know Tosh and you, Sunflower, just talked about again like signs of like being drained. You all are really going right into the next thing, because I talked about, so I gave my interpretation, which Spec says she agreed. The next thing were, I had like 4 bullet points, and I want all of us to talk about all of them. I talked about, or I said on there, what are some of the feelings or signs of being equally yoked? Like far as, so this is what I came up with, and again, now you all tell me what your thoughts and feelings are, and correct me. If you want to say, hey, Kay, maybe look at it from this point of view. So I said that like you'll feel connected to that person due to having things in common. Both of your ideas or thought process will be likewise or kind of the same. Seeing each other work ethic, which I kind of already explained, work ethic and determination. I say you won't feel like drained or stressed, like you won't feel like you are forcing your vision or forcing your plans on that person. You both will support and communicate with each other. And then I just said in brief, like everything will align. Meaning
mhm.
again, just going back to it. If I feel that I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Hey, Ashley boy, mom, you came in the chat. I'm sorry. We didn't got so much in this topic. Hi,
Hey,
Ashley
Ashley,
boy,
boy,
moms.
mom.
How are you doing? You have, and it's funny over here. Thank God you're over here, because you have been on my mind heavily. So I definitely wanted to reach out, just making sure that you are okay. So yeah, Sunflower and chat. That's what I was thinking as far as feelings. I know it could be more. I know I just kind of want to put some notes together to kind of even get on here and engage. But I know it's much more, and I'm willing to hear your opinions and thoughts about that. But I was just saying to say like, I just personally feel like when things are aligned with you and a person, there would not be, all of that like back and forth, the arguing. You don't have to, I wouldn't have to feel like I'm forcing you to do things, if that makes sense. How you were saying, hey, I'm going to church, and this person not going to church. You come back from church and they sitting on the couch watching football. So things like that is what I was saying as well. And I shouldn't have to go out and, like I said, we're going somewhere, or I'm doing something that we're both saying that we want, but yet, I'm the only one putting that effort in, or I'm the only one making those steps. So Tay, yes, you can come up. I dropped the link again. Sunflower, go ahead. Or if you want to wait till Tay come up, but tell me, you all, if I'm looking at it from, the right point of view or the right direction, may just need a little more advice, let me know.
You mean as far you ask, are you talking about the signs that you are equally yoked still?
Yeah, so yeah, pretty much like the feelings and signs of what I've said, like just feeling stressed or drained, or feeling like you are forcing your vision or your plans on that person.
Right. Yeah, the thing about the goals, the what I would want to do, you set goals, you have individual goals and you have goals that you set as a couple.
Mm-hmm.
And those individual goals should not be based off of if the other person agrees with them. But as far as what some other things, different ways of knowing if you're equally yoked, to my understanding, is we share the same faith. We have similar faiths, beliefs about God. And that's it. Like one of us can't believe in God and the other one be atheist.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Oh yes, correct on that.
So
Hi, JT. Thank you for being over here. Go
Hi,
ahead,
uh,
Sunflower.
hello Tt, how are you?
I'm good. How are y'all? Can y'all hear
Good.
me?
We can hear
Yes.
you.
Okay, good. Okay, you can finish, Sunshine. I can wait till you're done.
No, I don't. I feel like I done talked a lot. I know y'all want to hear me.
No, you're doing great. Cause I'm gonna say what I gotta say and get off of here. Cause I'm shy. Look,
But I was just saying some of the core, some of the like we have to share the same faith. Like I can't believe in God and you be atheist. I
Mhm.
got in an argument with somebody before about that because they try to tell me, yes, you can. Yes, you
mm,
can. You just both of y'all just go your own ways with your belief and the other one doesn't bother you with it. They don't talk to you. I don't talk to you about my belief and you don't talk to me about your who wants to live in a home like that?
right,
Correct.
right.
That's not gonna
Hey T,
work.
before you say what you said, let me read KB Mommy's comment. Like I said, I want to make sure I'm seeing everyone.
Okay.
And then you all can give your opinion on that. She says, even though I don't have what some might consider a traditional marriage, I can honestly say that God truly did bless me with an exceptional husband who cherished the ground I walk on. And you
Mm-hmm.
you you still won. Cause I don't think that everything has to be traditional. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I don't think that you have to be with someone and it have to be, to those traditional standards. So KB, again, I think you won. That's my opinion. And I just wanted to acknowledge her comment there. So
Where is
go,
that at? I didn't even. I'm looking for her comment.
okay, go up a little
What did she
bit.
say? Can you read it again? I'm trying.
Yes, I can. Hold on, let me go up a little bit. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because it's still not going up. So basically she said, and I'm going off because it's for some reason it's not letting me go up. Give me a second. And she said, Sunshine, I have throughout enjoy your input. Okay. So she said, even though I don't have what some might consider a traditional marriage, I can
Mm-hmm.
honestly say that God truly did bless me with an exceptional husband who cherished the ground I walk on.
And that's
Thank you.
good. That's good. And tradition looks different in different homes.
Correct.
Right,
It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
always have to. It doesn't always have to look the same as like what I do in my home may not look the same way in your home. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
what common goal is our belief.
right,
That's what truly matters, and our alignment.
right.
We value, what how do we generally agree on priorities such as integrity,
Hmm.
generosity, family, forgiveness, and even sexual ethics. You
Right.
don't have to agree on every issue, but your foundational values are compatible. They
Mm-hmm.
both have to
Mm-hmm.
meet
Right.
somewhere. We can't both be on different sides of the fence with everything.
Right.
Correct. And
That's
that's
right.
why I was saying when you're on different, like you're on a fence for everything, that's when you see, the arguing, the stress, the frustration, or it becomes like draining. So I'm gonna stop there and take T. You can go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, so I know we were talking about, goals, and I mean, I think you can have different goals, but you're definitely headed in the right direction, meaning that because I used to look at my husband and get mad at him because of I thought him not liking what I did as a business. I used to be
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, fuck him, all that kind of stuff. I was like, oh, tripping. But I had to realize that that was my dream, not his. But
Mm-hmm.
he definitely supports me. However, when it comes to my business, like whatever I'm lacked on, whatever he takes care of it. Now he works hard. He's a truck driver, so he loves driving trucks. But now he's like working for a company. He's getting older. He's 62, and so, for me, I had to take up the slack. Like when he was going through jobs, like twice since he sold his trucking company. So, for me, I just jumped in and took up the slack, meaning I had to take
Mm-hmm.
care of everything. So I don't get mad about when he doesn't, um, like he's not concerned about my business. I'm not gonna say concerned about my business. I mean, he wants me to do great, but I do know he supports me 100%. Just
Mm-hmm.
like when he And as far as church, we both believe in God. We don't go to church like we used to, but we do believe in God. I mean, we have a pretty good relationship. I mean, we in the house. I mean, we get along. I mean, we talk, we laugh,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
I don't try to stop him from doing what he wants to do when it comes to um like if he wants to venture. I get mad because I'm like, you should be able to do something, with your trucking business, like maybe do something different, but he don't want to. So I can't
Okay.
get mad about that. But at the end of the day, he does provide. We do, I'm not one of them people be talking about, oh, he pay the bills. No, we both pay bills. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We
Right.
That'll
both
be a good topic. I'm sorry to cut you off. That'll definitely be a good topic. Gender roles that I wanted to discuss because
yeah,
I see a lot of gender roles in households. Where they think that the males can do one thing and the woman can, or it's so much. I'm not gonna get off topic, but I'll definitely be planning a panel about that. So I just wanted to say
yeah.
that.
But yeah, I just think when it comes to being equally yoked, I mean, you pretty much have to, be on the same page as where you're not arguing, or I mean,
Mhm.
it's just,
Mhm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a relationship is not hard work. People say relationships is hard work. It's really not. Not if
But
y'all are equally
I would say
yoked.
it's not. I would say it's not hard when you're equally yoked.
Right? Exactly.
If that makes
Exactly.
sense, because
It does.
it is very hard when you're not equally yoked. If you're equally yoked, believe me, it is not hard.
Right. It's
Right.
not at all. That's why when people say, relationships hard work, no, it's not.
And
It's not hard
sometimes,
work.
it's for the hard comes in when somebody doesn't want to submit, because the husband, not only the wife submits, but the husband submits too. That's something that you can actually work on before marriage, because if you have a
Hmm.
hard time submitting, a lot of men look at it like just the woman is supposed to submit. You supposed
Oh,
to submit. You supposed to, but the husband is actually submitting to God, but he also submits to his wife. We have to come together and talk about stuff. But when we were talking about the arguing, it's relationships are not, marriage isn't hard. Relationships are not hard, but they are hard when you can't come together and come to some type of agreement.
yeah.
Correct.
If
Right.
we gonna be arguing, if we get to arguing every time we having a conversation and we
Mhm.
trying to
Mhm.
come together with some,
Mhm.
that's a red flag.
Right.
Agree, and that's what we were talking about. That's what I was saying. As far as feelings, I feel like every time you with someone and there's an argument, you all cannot come to a common ground. And I also think that the mindset plays a part too, because if if one individual is thinking one way and is different from that individual, or they're more mature than the other person, I just feel like it's always going to be some chaos because you all are not seeing things from a common place.
Yes.
Let me go
Yeah.
back with you guys. Let me read a few comments. I know KB said she wanted to elaborate a little bit on traditional home, and
Yeah, I
feel free if you
seen
all see
that what
something
she
that
was
I'm missing.
saying.
She said
I
this
was
was a
wondering.
very much needed conversation, ladies. I'm enjoying the conversation. Well, thank you so much, KB. You know that link is there if you would like to come up and say anything.
Yeah.
She says, I can elaborate on that. By non traditional, I am referring to the face that we don't see each other daily due to him being an over the road truck driver. Okay, now that makes
Hmm.
sense. Okay, I see what you're
Yeah.
saying. I see what you're saying. And
And that's
KB, I
that's
want to say
good.
that's very challenging too. For some
Right.
people, and I'm not saying. I mean, I would say
Right.
my generation, because again, you all are a little older, which is respected. So what I was saying to say is that, if like my generation is trying to date someone that works over the road and trying to make that, like, again, like you were saying, traditional, they have a hard time accepting that. I mean, I've dated
It's
someone
not for
who,
everybody.
correct,
Everybody
it's not,
cannot
because
do that.
some people do want their mate like in the home, when
Right.
they wake up, when they go to
Hmm.
sleep. So that's what I was going to say. Let me go down and make sure I'm not missing anybody else.
And it also, I wanted to add to that of what KB, mommy, with that says a lot about her. if
Right.
Correct.
individually, if to be able
Mm-hmm.
to handle that, because my husband is not a truck driver, but he is a musician and he travels. He works two different jobs, but he's a musician and then he's in the health field. So he's a musician and he travels a lot. Everybody won't be able to, like what you said, Kay, about that's something you wouldn't want to, you want your husband in the home. But
Right.
for KB's position, he's on the road a lot. Truck drivers they have times when they stop at home. I'm not sure how
Mm-hmm.
hers goes, but they're gone quite a bit. But you have to be very patient,
And she got to be a strong
trustworthy.
woman for that because she
Yeah,
still got to run the household while he's
because
gone.
right, exactly. Because it was a time when my husband would be gone for 2 to 3 months at a time.
Mm-hmm.
He don't do that anymore because we had to let that. I couldn't do now at my age. I'm not doing that no more. I can't. We did it for we
Exactly.
did it for a while, and if we do it again, I'm going with him. I ain't staying home. But it's really, if you have to be good, that's where it comes in too. That's the part, not necessarily but equally yoked. You have different goals, you have
Mm-hmm.
different jobs, different things that you do, but two people are able to come together. Her and her husband had to come together and be
Yes.
that's something you have to find out about each other. That's good to get to know somebody before you marry them. Find out what they
Mm-hmm.
want to do. What are you
Correct.
doing? Where do you work at now? You will know what type of future you want with them
Right.
before
Correct.
marriage.
And
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you said that, Sunflower. Two things, because I feel like, those are signs if you're equally yoked to someone too, through intellectual conversations, like before you even start to date them or get serious or get in the bed with them. I know, we all grown here. I'm just saying, through intellectual conversation, you can tell, you can ask them. I know for me, I always ask people, what are your short-term goals, what are your long-term goals, things like that. Like, you just try to figure them out a little bit. And I
Yeah.
feel like,
Hmm.
through more and more conversation, you'll see the red flags. And
Yeah.
then also, Sunflower, I know Tasha's coming up. You also talked about like how you can be a couple, but yet within being a couple, you have to still be an individual. And
Hmm.
I fully agree with that. And it's crazy. A lot of you all may know my age and may not. So at 30 years old, I've learned that young. I've
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
been very independent. So like, if I'm talking to someone or dating or anything, I've always expressed that, or even just having conversation with like friends. And I always tell them, and again, I'm being transparent. Some understand exactly what I'm saying and some don't, because I always tell them, I'll be like, although you're a couple, you're with this person, you're still an individual. So I would always talk about like how you should always still do something outside of that person, like
Right.
don't revolve everything around that person. And honestly, I even had that conversation, with my mom. She's married, and her and my father have been married for over 20 years. And I tell her that all the time, like, although you all are married, you are still an individual. Like, I get you had kids, I get it. She travels with him. Everything is with her, my dad, her, my dad, her, my dad. But I do think too that it plays a part of things like when people are like stuck in their generation, they don't see anything different. Like how I'm trying to say, like how I'm thinking in her generation, that's what that's how she was raised. It's always, her and her
Hmm.
husband, her family. And me,
Yeah.
I get it, but I also feel like, there comes a time where I always encourage, my whoever I talk to, hey, go out with your guys, go get, if they drink, go get you a drink, go do something. And it gives you that time to separate and regroup. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
just gives you that time. So I always feel like even if you're in a relationship, you are still an individual and should do something as an individual.
Yeah.
Right.
And
And
Right.
I
lastly,
wanted
I
to
know time's coming up.
KB Mommy
Um,
was saying something. KB Mommy about she said also, ladies, this is after him serving 20 years in the military. My God, today prayer does change. Prayer does change the conditions of things. Yes. 20 years. Wow. Girl, you got a lot of strength in that.
she definitely has a lot of strength because, like I said, our generation child, they couldn't handle it. They couldn't. I can tell you right now, they couldn't. They could not handle it. And
Well,
then, Josh, come on, we waiting on you.
well, I
I
can't.
know.
I can't. I can't handle that. Me. I mean, I'm 59. My husband is 62, and I don't want him like when I met him. He was just selling his trucking business. I don't. I can't handle him being gone like that. Now
I
I
think that's
like
the
for
thing
him to
as
be
we get
gone,
older.
like to work and then come home. I can't.
She said
I
no.
can't. Yeah, I can't deal with that because I worry too much.
Now I
He.
don't
Mm-hmm.
deal with it now. That's why I said maybe it changes as you get older, but some people still deal with it. But I've had my share. I'll just leave it at that. I have had my share. It was not easy, but I did it. That's what he did, that to take care of home. He was
Right.
Correct.
providing. So that
Right.
was what
And let me ask this, Sunflower. Let me first greet Tosh. Hey Tosh, thank you for being over here. I know you said you were
Hey,
shy, so I
Tosh.
appreciate you for supporting you, girl.
Hey
Let me ask
y'all.
Sunflower this. You all can piggyback, and then some Tosh will let you kind of speak. So I know you said Sunflower, how the husband did things, to provide for the like the household. Now,
hmm
as when what I'm learning is that sometimes when a man is out doing, taking care of everything he needs to do to make sure that he is providing for the household, sometimes that takes away, it could be like quality time from the kids, or he may
hmm
not be able to make every basketball game, every football game, every double dutch competition, but you always step, you're in his absence, the mother is there. So I'm saying that
Yeah.
to say, do you all agree with that? Because I fully agree, because I see some, people growing up and they'll like try to blame the father for not from like their behavior. Oh, if my father was in the home, or my father did this, but they're not looking at the deeper thing is that okay, your father had to go out and work 14 hours every day so that you can have food in your stomach. You can do this. So there are some things that I think that children have to grow up and of course, you explain it to them, but I feel like, ultimately, if a father is out and they're doing what they need to do to provide for their household, it may be times where again, mommy have to step up and be mommy, and daddy, and maybe the share, you have to step up
Right.
in a different
Yeah, and
capacity.
that's where as we were talking about different homes, the tradition looks different. Some people don't can't do that, and some people do it. Some people don't have a choice. You have to do it. What's important is both of us being able to come together and say this is what we have to do right now, and we're okay with this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have to do that with my youngest son. I have to talk to him a lot about daddy ain't gonna be here. He has to go work. I
Mm-hmm.
explain it to
Mm-hmm.
him, but I also tell him, but this is when he's gonna be home, and then we will plan this. But
Mm-hmm.
you have to understand that this is what daddy is doing to take care of you so that you
Right.
have nice toys. You want to go to these trampoline places, you want to do this, you want to do that. This is how we're able to do this.
Correct.
So that's what you were saying about, and it's usually the woman that's in the home doing that because it's the man doing it, or vice versa, but being
Correct.
able to come together and talk about that and agreeing. Yeah, so yeah, you're right.
All right. Thank you for that, Sunflower.
You're
Tate, you got to
welcome.
piggyback before we let Tosh talk. KB, I did drop the link. I know you said you want to come up. And I just want to say, like I said, I do appreciate you all for coming over here. This was really, really good. This was, I mean,
Yeah, it is
it's really
good.
refreshing, and I'm just saying to say, it's
It is.
definitely something different from, Tate, are you leaving? Is she leaving? It's just definitely something different from to get a break from like all the YouTube drama. So that's all I want to say. It's just really
Right.
refreshing and something different. So Tate, if
This
you're
is
leaving, that's fine.
it's
Um
different from it's this is different from just commenting in the chat.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so she said because
Yeah.
Tate,
I
it says bye Coach K and Flower. Okay, she's saying bye to us. We'll see you, Tate.
Okay,
Thank you
bye.
for being over here.
Thank
And Tosh,
you.
go ahead. We're
Hi,
gonna let you go ahead and get
Casey.
started.
Wait, before I start, am I loud? Yeah. Let me know if I'm loud now.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, you laugh, Tosh.
I got my earbuds in. I don't want to be too loud. Okay, so this is a great subject, by the way. I love talking spiritual stuff like this. I ain't gonna say just spiritual, just
Correct.
women coming together and men. But from my how old I am, 44. Yeah, 44 years of living. I know now. I
Hey,
wish I had a
KB,
new
thank you for being over here.
then
Go ahead, Tosh.
what I knew now because it is a spiritual battle actually. and then not, let alone equal being equal yoked with somebody. Nobody don't want to be by themselves forever. You gonna want to have that someone, but you want to be with that right person. So why not be with the right person that God sent you?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Is crazy because we young, we want to share our goals with your
Tasha, your phone is going in and out.
Is she here?
Tosh, can you hear us? KB says, "Am I on stage, lady?" Yes, you are. I greeted you. Hopefully, you can hear us, KB. If not, you can drop down and come back up. Ashley Boy Mom says, with both my kids, I was able to stay home for the beginning of the lives until school started. Well, for the beginning of their lives, what she tried to say, and started to keep them going to daycare, etc. It worked for my home. The father was able to take care of bills. Correct. And like
Yeah.
we were saying, things are different. And again, there's times where it could be vice versa, like Sunflower said. It could be the woman that's going to work and the father is taking care of the household.
Mm-hmm. And
Which
that's what,
again, to
and
me,
some
I don't
people
have an
won't
issue.
understand that. Some people outside of your home won't
Hold on,
understand that. And
Sunflower.
they're,
Tosh, can you hear us now?
uh-huh.
Okay, KB, can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just want to make sure everyone
Hello.
can hear us. Tosh, I'm gonna let you continue because your phone cut out, and then we're gonna let KB kind of elaborate
yeah.
on what
Okay.
she wanted to.
Okay, I'm going back on mute.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Somebody called y'all. So yeah, you
Oh,
gonna
okay.
wanna have that. You gonna wanna have that relationship and that goal and share it with your.
Sorry, ladies. I can't hear Tosh. I see her bubble moving though.
Y'all can't hear me.
I can hear her.
I can hear her also. KB,
Chat,
mommy
y'all can
says
hear
she
me.
can. We can hear you, Tosh. Can you hear us?
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I can
Now,
hear
KB,
y'all.
can
Okay,
you hear
I
her
can hear.
now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
All
ma'am.
righty.
Okay.
Back on mute. Go
Okay.
ahead, Tosh. I'm sorry, sis. I'm back on mute.
So yeah, you want to share that with your, whoever you with, but well, I know now you're supposed to be equally yoked because you never know what type of spirit attached to that person. It
Woo!
can be a
Woo!
spirit for hindrance. It can be a spirit for delay. I'm saying this
Mm-hmm.
from experience, y'all, because I've been on my own business ever since I was 12 years old, and
Yeah.
I'm just not going emotion because, my past relationships. You tell
Mm-hmm.
one
Mm-hmm.
person, it just so much is attached to that person who you with. That's why being equally yoked plays a big
Girl,
time in your
yes.
life.
Yes.
Okay, that's all.
You can stay up and say,
Okay,
some more stuff when you feel like it. KB,
okay,
mommy.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty, ma'am. Look, we're ready for you. Thank you for coming up.
Thank you for having me. This is a beautiful, wonderful panel
Hello.
tonight.
Okay. Now, who is this talking?
This is KB, mommy.
Hello, KB Mommy. It is so good to hear voices. I'm used to
Yeah, I
talking
don't
to
get on.
everybody through
I don't
chat.
get on panels. I stay in the bushes.
I don't usually get on panels unless I feel comfortable doing it. So this is a really safe space, and I love the atmosphere. So that's why I came up. If it's not, I won't.
Well, thank you for being
You,
here. And go ahead, wherever
yes,
you feel comfortable starting.
I can relate, Sunflower, because I love Kaylin
Hmm.
Well,
and
thank
also
you.
Tosh and also Tosh J.
hi.
KB, mommy, can you hear us again?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, I think I have a delay because I have you on my phone.
Okay. So KB, whenever you're ready, you can elaborate or jump in, to say what you wanted to say. We're listening. We're all open ears over here.
Okay, I just want to elaborate on the fact that so yes, when I mentioned that I have a very non-traditional marriage because first of all, me and my husband have known each other and been together since I was 15. He's 5 years older than me, so he was 20. He decided to go off into the military when he was 22. I turned 17. He wanted my parents to. He actually asked for my
hand in marriage at that time, and my parents did not want to emancipate me. So we did the whole like sneaking behind the scenes and still seeing one another.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, fast forward to, our current and present day, we have a total of four children. Our oldest is a daughter that's 35, and we end up losing our youngest two who were babies at the time. We lost one at 2 months and our last one at 6 months years old. I mean
Oh
6 months
no,
years old. Oh my
sorry to
goodness, 6 months
sorry
old.
to hear that.
But
I'm sorry to hear
thank
that.
you. But anywho, I used to also travel for work. So that's when
Mm-hmm.
I, mentioned about the non-traditional, we were both gone. He decided, okay, after he did all that time in the military, well, I want to become a truck driver. And I'm like, what? Like, why don't you want to be a, you know what I'm saying? Like, be home. You've been gone all this time. But we have come to the fact, I mean, we know we're at the point that this is what works for us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because when he does come home, I mean, he's gone long enough for both of us to miss one another.
Correct.
But, and even when I was traveling for work, because I used to train for Epic, the electronic medical record system at the hospitals. So we were both gone, and when we came home at around the same time, we were planning our schedules to be home around the same time, and it was like we would both be home long enough that, okay, well, first of all, we was gone long enough to miss one another, and once we came home, it was like, okay, now we both starting to get on each other's nerves, so it's time for us to, go back out on the road and go to work. But now, since I have been home off the road since 2018, I had started to get that little itch though, like, okay, well, wait a minute. I was telling, my big sis Tay T this, like, sissy, I think I want him to be home more.
Mm-hmm.
But we have grown accustomed to to what we have now, which is, not us being in each other's space like that. And honestly, this is what has worked for us. And like I said, it may be non-traditional to a lot of other people, but this is what, for real, this is what works for us. And uh, we will be going on, what's this, 26? We'll be going on 16 years of marriage in October of this year.
All right.
Wow.
Congratulations to that.
And
We
That's
gotta say cheers to
awesome.
that
thank
Congratulations.
you. And when I tell y'all, like one of our non-arguments or non-debates, we've never had a debate or argument when it comes to finances,
one. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
cheating,
Okay.
none of that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's more so of, uh well, I want you to travel more with me, or his thing is, why you want to travel so much. That's like the brunt of our disagreements.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now
So,
tell me, KB mommy, how
mhm.
did you and him so with the passing of your two children, did that make you all even stronger in Christ or stronger
Oh,
in the relationship? Did they, I know that
okay,
because that can be challenging. Can you speak on that just a little bit? Because I
I
just feel like
can.
with, and again, this is not really like saying that you have to be equally yoked, but I do feel
Hmm.
like when you are, with someone or someone that is in support of you, like when you face challenging things, you all can overcome it together.
Okay, so, um, my dear, sweet, loving hubby, he is the type to bottle up everything
Okay.
and not, his thing is, instead of dealing with, or instead of dealing with, hardship, heartbreak, or something that's very traumatic or emotional, I'm just going to pour myself back into work.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
So that was very difficult, especially with losing our um, second son, because the first son was lost at 2 months, and then the
Mm,
second one was lost at 6 months. And for some reason, I think because we had more time, that one hit harder.
I can agree. Okay, like I can understand what you're saying. Again, never been in that situation, so I can sympathize with that. And what I will say is again, we're not putting KB, or out in the open, but I would like for anyone that's over here to just drop some prayer hands because
Oh, I appreciate it. Because
grief
for
is
me, Kay,
never easy.
Sorry
Never
to
easy.
hear that.
for me,
And
Kay,
grief,
it's therapeutic for me to talk about it. But that's the thing. That's one of the things. And I mean, again, this is my first
no,
time.
yeah.
I don't go on people's panels or whatnot, but I will share this with everyone. I am and have been in therapy, and
There we go.
that has
There we
helped a
go.
lot. That
And
has
Yeah.
people,
helped a lot.
they don't think
Yeah.
that that'll be. I'm telling you, I will be on here for a while. But that'll be another panel because in our
Okay.
community, people don't think that therapy is needed.
Woo.
We are grow up. Well, I know. Again, tell me,
Hello,
I grew up
everybody
to
in the
know.
chat.
Hey, Spec.
Hey, Spec,
Gossip and
my big
giggle.
sis. Hey,
Oh, I'm
gossip.
sorry. No, I've already spoken to
Hey,
Spec. She
Speck.
was the
I'm
last comment.
sorry.
I meant to
Well,
say, hey,
hello,
gossip and
everybody
giggles.
that I ain't spoke to. I'm sorry. I'm not ignoring anybody. I'm just
Yeah,
trying
but
to.
therapy has helped a lot. And to be honest with you, ladies, I really, that and my background with my mom instilling, faith and church in me at a young age. If I didn't have that, I do
Mhm.
not believe that I would be on this line talking to y'all right now.
Mm,
And I'm just feeling the really good vibes from everyone, and then the maturity. Like I just feel like again, this was just a conversation where, again, it's intellectual, it's
Mm-hmm.
beneficial. Where this is a conversation where when I'm done and close this laptop, that I really have gained some insight on this. You know what I'm saying? Like these are type of like meaningful conversations that I love to have with people. If that makes sense. Like I'm taking away
yeah.
Yes.
from it.
And that's what
Yes.
it
And
should
thank
be
you so
like.
much for having this
Yeah.
open panel tonight.
Yeah,
You
this
Sunflower,
was
I
all
really
are
really
good.
enjoyed
welcome.
all of your input
It
too.
was good. I appreciate
KB,
being able to hear our
before you get
voices.
off,
Yes, ma'am.
if you all, since I have you all three up here again in the chat, the last bullet point for my panel was talking about alignment. Um,
Hmm.
and basically alignment in a relationship means two people are moving in the same direction and share a mutual vision for the future. It goes beyond initial chemistry and involves having compatible core values, communication styles, emotional safety, and life goals. Can you all tell me if you agree, or what are your feelings when you're talking about just overall alignment?
I
Now I
agree with
will
that.
say this, even
I agree.
though um the one area that, and again, I'm giving y'all full transparency because I don't do this. I talked to this with my sister circle, and they know who they are. Some of them are in your chat tonight,
Hmm.
but
Okay,
I
good.
will give you full transparency when it comes to like the whole therapy thing. Yes, that is the one thing that me and my husband, we are not on the same page with
Hold on one
because
second, KB mommy. I
okay,
just want to make sure because I want to make sure I acknowledge everyone. I
okay.
have is this says look, y'all know these names on here. It says what Drake Ladonna 973 says hello, much love to all. So I just wanted to say that. So thank you for being over here,
So
watching us. I do appreciate it. Okay, go ahead, KB. Sorry.
Okay, no problem, sissy. So when it comes to the whole, going to therapy, let's talk about, whatever issues or whatever you may be harboring or whatever feelings you may have. Let's go ahead and talk about it. That's the one thing that we have not been able to come to terms with. And to be honest with y'all, I'm okay with that
Okay.
because I feel as though for myself, therapy is for me to be able to go ahead and deal with any and everything else that's going on within my world. So
Correct.
if he does not agree or have not decided to come to terms with it, however, I will state that what I have, the tools that I have gathered from going to therapy and
Mm-hmm.
bringing them back into my household,
Correct. Mm-hmm.
do see a difference when
that's
it comes
good.
to um whatever with us when it comes to my marriage as a whole.
That's good.
So
That's what
even
I
though
was
you may not
wondering.
step foot into that office with me,
All you guys, Miss Gossip says she would like to come up. She said after everyone else is done.
oh
You are
yeah, come
welcome
on,
over
I'm game.
here.
Is it to? Do you need somebody
Yeah.
to
So that
drop
was it.
down? Do you
I
need?
No, let
appreciate
me
you.
see.
Oh,
No, you all, let me see. I mean, KB, if you're done, if you would like to drop, that's fine. But it's okay. Let me just drop the link first and see if she can come up. If not,
Okay.
you all, it's okay. If it tells me, that's fine. But the more the merrier. Um,
Okay.
and before Gossip get up here, oh, she said
no,
she'll wait.
that's no.
Okay,
Tell her
well,
come on.
I did drop the link, Gossip. So whoever want to drop, but I wanted to like put a little humor in our conversation. I know it's been a really good a good evening. A lot of you all came up here and y'all said y'all married. So what's y'all tips, girl? Your girl, I mean, I eventually do want marriage. So y'all, what's the what y'all do
Okay,
to get
I
married?
well,
I ain't
Kanan, I just
married.
sent. I look. I sent you a message on the Facebook, and I sent it multiple times, ma'am.
Who
So
said
I
this?
just,
That's Sunflower.
huh?
Huh?
That's you, Sunflower, that said you sent me monthly message. Was that KB Mommy?
That's KB mommy.
Oh yes, but that's why. Oh my God, KB, I know.
Girl, I sent you
That's
my
why
whole
you have been
government.
on
I
my.
sent you my whole government name.
I know that's why you have been on my mind. I was like, oh my God. I saw the message. I was like, oh my God, I still didn't respond. You have been on my heart heavy. I was like, so when you came and got some chat the last time I
Mhm.
was over there, I was so happy to see you because I'm like, oh my God, I didn't respond to her. So yes, I
Cause I know
definitely.
you had, you had your events going on. I said that's what I told you. I said I'll wait, but I also go ahead and send it to you on that Sunday. And I did reach back out to you,
Well,
and I told that to you.
definitely hold me accountable, and thank you for reaching out. And look, and then thank you for even, just not forgetting. You know what I'm saying? Like you followed up. You said, "Hey, I'll give you a few days," and you still followed up. So I'm gonna take
I had to,
accountability.
boo.
So
Look, I feel as though when God places something on my heart, I have to, because I can't. I don't want to be convicted by not being obedient to my
correct.
father's
Right.
orders.
Amen.
So
She
So
said.
any
She
tips,
said,
y'all?
give
Look,
her some
I'm really
marriage.
on the joke, and
She
so I'm
said.
taking tips.
She said, give me some marriage tips.
Yeah, just like
I just
if you
want to
were okay. So
say.
like if you
I
were.
just wanted. I wanted to say to that. If you desire marriage,
oh, I'm going
then
mute.
make sure that you speak that out of your that, and this is for any. I say queen. I can say ladies, but I look at women as queens because I've been when I was younger in a bad relationship, I was called everything but my
Mm-hmm.
name.
I
So
get you.
I look at women as queens. So if you desire marriage, then that's what you need to make sure that you're speaking out of your mouth. Even if you're not in it yet, even if it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't, if even if your relationship that you're in doesn't look like that, you can still go to God and
Mm-hmm.
ask. And this is what I did. I wrote down on paper what I wanted my husband to be like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I wrote it word for word. I wanted him to love you. I wanted him to love God first because
Amen.
that's the only way that he would be able to love me. That's my belief. And my husband does. He love I mean every when we first got married, we both had stuff that we were still healing from previous
Mm-hmm.
relationships, and we brought it into our marriage.
Correct.
But because we are equally yoked, we both made the effort to go to counseling together, and
Mm-hmm.
we both changed and did the work for us to be able to grow together. So you write down what you want your husband to be like, and begin to pray that and speak that out of your mouth, but ask God to show you. When God sends you your husband, ask God to show you, God, is this my husband?
Mm-hmm.
If this is not who I'm supposed to marry, God, then don't allow him to block don't allow him to block my Boaz from finding me.
Amen. Cause I'm waiting on
Correct. And
mine.
I'm going to piggyback
Mhm.
on that after I read Miss Barbara comment. Miss Barbara says you need to communicate with your spouse while not over talking but listening as well. Then never go to bed mad. It works for me in my marriage for 38 years. That is powerful, and I'm taking it
Yeah.
all into consideration.
Amen.
Um,
Mhm.
and then I wanted to just piggyback really quickly, and then like I said, anyone who want to drop down, that's fine, so we can let Gossip get up. Um, and I feel like, look, my thought just leave. Hold on one second. What was I about to say?
I think
Okay.
you said you was gonna piggyback.
Remind me, Sunflower.
Oh God.
Your phone went in and out.
That last bulletin you had up, I think you were going to
No,
piggyback on that.
it was something you all just said, and I was like, oh, let me piggyback off that really quickly before I forget. Um, hey, can you put this in the garbage for me? What? Just put it in the refrigerator. I'm trying to think. You know what? If it comes back to me, but it was something you just said sunflower literally, and then I was like, oh, I need to piggyback off that. If you just said it, and KB says she'll drop for gossip. Um, I can't recall right now. It's okay. It is okay when it comes back to me. If it comes to me before we get off, I'll mention it. But I know it was you just said something, Les. What did you say, Les Sunflower? Do you remember? Can you all hear me?
I can hear you. I want to
Okay.
piggyback on some. I never I I don't want to talk about all the stuff that I went through, but I didn't actually go to counseling. I actually went to God. I got on my knees. I laid on my face. I got in
Mm-hmm.
my closet. I
Oh,
went to
wait a
church.
minute,
But
Tosh. You
hmm
did it for me. And so some people they're dropping. I don't know if they can hear me or if they're dropping for gossip. So I'm gonna let you finish. There it is right there. So thank you, Tosh. When you just said God, that's what it just dawned on me. Sunflower. Hold on, let me add her because I wanted her to hear this. Sunflower, can you hear me?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you
I'm
yes,
now.
sorry. One of my friends keep calling. I hate when somebody call me and I'm on. I can't even. And then I couldn't figure out how to just come back on the stage. I
No,
got
it's
this.
okay. It came back to me when Tosh said God. And then like I said, I'm gonna let Tosh speak. What I wanted to say is what I've also noticed, and again, you all can tell me agree or disagree. What rather I should say what I've noticed. What I've learned is that when you continue to entertain what's not for you, you postpone what is.
Mm-hmm.
amen. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, that's my little quote for the night, y'all. We're gonna take that with us. But okay, go ahead, Tosh.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
yeah, um, because I believe in soul ties too. Sleeping with the wrong person,
Mm-hmm.
it brings soul ties. That could be a hindrance in your life, in your future, in your purpose. Every time I meet, well, now that I meet somebody, what's your purpose? That's my first. What's your purpose? I don't want to know about your past. What is your
Mhm.
purpose? What can you do? What can you do to support me? What is your purpose
Mhm.
with God? So it just it and then let's go back to God. Me not doing counseling. My auntie, she got me into the church. Like I've been in the church, I say ever since I was little, but faithfully going ever since I was 16. So I've been in and out of the church, but I always fall back onto God because He's the only way that can guide me, that can keep me going. And yeah, I
Mhm.
was with
Mhm.
my son dad for 10 years till I had a miscarriage when we was together, but we wasn't equal. We wasn't married then. So that God said it ain't your time. So that's
Mhm.
what I took.
Mhm.
It hurt it, but he said it was my time. I don't know if y'all have discernment, but I can hear God sometimes. Have y'all ever heard
Mm-hmm.
God speak to y'all? Like that ain't for you.
Yeah, the spirit of
Okay.
this
Yes.
girl, whole
Oh.
nother conversation. I won't even try. I won't even try to get into that. But I fully understand where you're going.
Okay, so and then you be like, man, I know he for me, cause you still be like, that for me, that my man. We got there, but God be saying that ain't for you. Stop,
Mm-hmm.
cause
Agree.
you
But you
know
know
you
what they
wrong.
say? Let's crack a joke. They'll they say God on the back of your head.
Hmm.
That's
Pop
that's
you on
what
the
it, that's
back of your
definitely what it
neck.
is. They pop you on the back of your neck. You be like, you know that
Yeah,
is not
you
right.
know that ain't
Well,
you.
gossip. If you're still here, I did drop the link for you to come up, honey. I will hope that you are still here so you can come up. Let me drop it again. I don't even know
Oh,
if y'all can hear it. Can y'all hear those fireworks?
that's what I was gonna say. Somebody knocking on the
Yeah,
door. There's fireworks still. Wow.
Yes,
I
they
thought
are
that was my son.
popping them fireworks.
Wow.
Gossip, are you still here? Dropping the link again. Hopefully she's still here if anybody can see.
This has
I
really
know.
been good.
Yes,
Yeah,
and it's very calming too. Like
Yeah.
it's very calming. Until she comes, I did drop the link. So any feedback you all, or anything that you have taken from this panel. Now the feedback can be, any feedback you want to give me, because again, this was my very first like panel, and doing StreamYard. I did like a test run, but any feedback, any comments, anything that I could have done better or improved, do you all have anything you can tell me? And again, this is, constructive criticism, or, however you're feeling, which is fine, because my mission here is to grow, grow this channel, grow myself in real life. So that's all, there's always room to grow.
I think you did the really good job. One thing that and I will say that God keeps highlighting to me about you, um, Coach K, that's your name on here. I One thing that God keeps highlighting to me about you is that you are very independent. And he also was showing me that because of you being so independent, it's gonna be hard for you to accept. It may be, I'm gonna change that. It may be hard. You're gonna have to surrender and ask God to show you where you need to surrender at for
Mm-hmm.
you to be able to accept your Boaz, because he may not look or be where you want him to be at the moment, but when God does a thing, and
Yeah.
that's where I'm gonna leave it just at that, because that's all he was showing me. But he kept reminding me of that independence, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna remember the brand. I'm gonna go back to that once we get done. But he kept showing me that you are very, very, and I've seen that from since you've been on here, from when I first came in contact. She is very independent. And when I say that, to explain that to others, being independent is not a bad thing. You just was raised to take care of business, and you want somebody in your life to do the same thing. You want
Yes,
somebody to
ma'am.
be compatible with you, to treat you right, and love you and love your children, put you and your children first. And that's the thing where when God does a thing, when God does a thing, we don't have to worry about that. We just put that
Amen.
man in God's hands and trust, if that's who he sends, he's going to change them. My husband was not the man he is today when I married him, but it was because of how he was raised up. So we both
Mhm.
had to change. We both had to make some changes, sacrifices, but we did it for each other because we wanted it to work. So allow God to show you that, and he will, and I believe that you will know.
Well,
And that was
thank you for
all.
that.
You're
I
welcome.
definitely appreciate
Amen.
that. We now have Gossip here. So thank you, Gossip. I know it is kind of late, but thank you for being over here. Gossip, can you hear us? Or can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you guys. Hi, how's
Hello,
everybody?
how are you?
Hello.
We're pretty much done. Gossip, we were just
Mm,
waiting on you, or you can break take us home. Take us home.
I'm hearing double, y'all.
Really?
Hmm?
Um,
Yeah,
I don't hear. Is she talking about
I
double
ain't hearing it.
voices?
yeah. Let me drop down, and
Oh,
come back.
okay, okay.
while she's doing, Kt0526 said, I learned to listen a long time ago. Discernment, intuition, etc. I used
Mm-hmm.
to ignore the signs, but that didn't work out good. So I've learned warning before destruction. I give
Mm-hmm.
glory to God. You are right about that.
Amen. Don't look at it on tapes. Ooh, I don't learn my lesson. Hush, Tasha. Leave me alone.
Miss Barb
Ugh.
said, when God puts two people together, no man can put asunder. The two people in the relationship cannot break it up, because that's how God works. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree to that too.
Amen.
I'll drop the link again just to be on the safe side. And thank you, Miss Barbara. She said that this was a good live and she thinks I'm doing good. So thank you. I'm
Yeah,
adding
let's
G and
do it
G to the
again.
chat again if she can hear us. Tay says, does she have another? Oh, she tried to say device because it said divorce. Um, Gossip, can you hear us? She says, do you have another device on? Are you using two devices?
I can't hear it at all now.
Yeah.
I can hear y'all.
Oh, okay. I said I
Okay.
can see it moving, but I couldn't hear you. Are you? Is it echoing, Gossip?
Yeah, no, it's not echoing.
Alrighty, Gossip. Okay. Well, we're ready for you.
Okay, well, good evening.
Good
Oh
evening.
man.
Hello.
Okay,
I can hear you.
it is. It's still echoing. I don't know why. Wait a
Well,
minute.
we
Let me
can we
look.
can hear you really
What?
well.
Do me a favor. Do me a favor, Kay. Can everybody mute for a minute? Let me see something.
Yes, ma'am. Hold on. Sunflower, can you mute?
Okay. Me, how do I mute? I'm trying to find myself.
Okay. I'm trying to see. I'm just talking to myself to see if I can. Okay, I don't hear this. I don't hear the two voices anymore. Okay, thank y'all. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, G and G.
Hello.
So everyone is was on mute. So we're gonna speak and then get back on mute.
Okay,
Hello.
I'm gonna try one more time. It still was doing it. I don't know
G and
what's
G,
happening.
it was working when we all muted. So can everyone mute and let G and G talk? Okay, she dropped. So I'll let her know again. Everyone in the chat can hear her really well. We can hear her when she comes up. We'll just speak and then mute. For some reason, it was clear when we were muted. So that's what I was trying to let her know before she dropped down. Yeah, actually, boy, mom, I think that's what we had to do. When we all were muted, she was able to hear clearly. But I did drop the link again for her, and when she comes up, we'll just mute. So I tell G and G we're ready. We're gonna mute when she comes. Thank you, Sunflower and Tosh. They are already muted. So we're just gonna wait until she comes up. Sunflower says, "Hey, Kay, I dropped down, but I see I'm still up there." Okay, hold on, give me a second. Okay, so it's me and Tosh. That's fine. Let me drop the link again. Tosh, we're fine. I'm just waiting on G and G, and then when she comes, we'll just mute it. I'm just dropping the link, like just pretty much refreshing the link, if that's the problem. And thank you again, Sunflower, for being here. Thank you for your opinion, your perspective, and your engagement. I truly appreciate it. Oh, it's okay. When you said you couldn't figure it out, I ended up just muting it. G and G, we're gonna mute. It was when we muted, it was working. So I don't know if you can just try one more time, and if it doesn't work this time, that's fine. Because we would love to hear from you. It definitely worked when we muted. So if you can hit the link, we were gonna mute again and try one more time. Okay. She said she'll catch the replay for sure. Well, no worries. Right. We definitely heard you really well, G and G. But no worries. If she'll catch the replay, that's fine. Or maybe I'll catch her one of her lives and we'll catch up then. Tosh, I think G and G is gonna wait. So you're free to unmute.
Okay. I'm mute anyway because my son he a gamer, so you might hear him back there hollering at, yeah. So I
Okay,
have to
hold
stay on
on.
mute.
She's coming up. We're gonna mute, okay?
Okay.
Hey Gossip, can you hear us?
Okay.
All right, we're gonna mute.
I can. Can y'all?
Yep, we can hear
Yeah.
you.
Okay, y'all. Good evening, everybody. I'm outside. So y'all gonna hear crickets and everything else. But I don't know what the 4 key points were. Hey, can you kind of tell me that though, real quick?
Yes, I
You know what?
can.
Never mind. Never
Okay,
mind.
okay.
Never mind. Let me just do this, and I'll catch the replay. Like I said, um,
Okay.
I re- I had saw your thumbnail the other day, and it said about being equally yoked, and I had said I'm gonna definitely catch that because I think that's something very important. A lot of the younger women don't understand. And everything that I'm saying definitely is just my opinion. Um, I feel like me personally, you have to stop looking, for a man. First of all, I think once you be still, God is seeing you, who you're looking for or who you're supposed to be with. And then I heard Sunshine. I think it was saying, um, she wrote down everything that she wanted, and that's something that I hear a lot of preachers say, because they'll say something like, don't just say, Lord, please send me a husband, because he will. He will, and that just might not be what you looking for. You do have to specify. You do have to say, depending on whatever is going on with you, you have to say, like, Lord, send me a man that's a Christian. Send me a man that's a hard worker. Send me, you have to basically set up what you're looking for. Because just saying you want a man, you can get that tomorrow. He may, put that in your face tomorrow, but that might not be what you're looking for. So definitely
Mm-hmm.
specify what you're looking for. And then when I came in, you were talking about alignment. So I think of it like when you take your car to get it serviced. And one of the things that you do is you get your tires aligned, right? And the reason we get our tires aligned is because, first of all, you want to put the same amount of air in each one, 34 or whatever the case may be. I think it's like 34 or something. But you want to put the same amount of air pressure in each tire. But then also, like, your back tires may be still good, and your front tires may be sort of shaky, and they'll trade the tires out so that not really you don't have to buy new tires, but sometimes they may move the back to the front and the front to the back, so that once you're riding smooth. Okay, so that's the same thing with an alignment in your marriage or your dating situations. You got to get that alignment so that your relationship rides smooth the same way. The same way, it's got to be equaled out. So you get what I'm saying on that part?
I fully get it. I fully understand.
Yep. So also, it was a long time ago, long time ago. A lot of people don't know. Some people know, but a lot of people don't know that I've been married twice. So I married my first husband at the age of 18. And, I was one of those girls that was ready to get out my mama's house because, me and my mom was bumping heads. I felt like I knew it all. And my mom was a strong headed person. And I was like, shit, I got to go. So the first dude, that asked me to marry him, I was like, yep, mm-hmm. And, I went on and got married. Did we have good times? Oh, yes. We were married for 6 years. We had a wonderful time. He was fun. He was live. He was this. He was that. The sex was wonderful, but we were not equally yoked. And it wasn't until I heard a pastor say, he was trying to describe some of the signs and symptoms of being equally yoked. So as soon as he started talking, I said to myself, "Bing, bing, bing, bing." That's the answer right there. Um, yeah, I've seen people get together and a man may say he want him a good woman, and he gets him a good woman. She quiet in nature. She don't really like to go nowhere. She's definitely big about serving the Lord. But then her man, he may be a drinker, but he's cool and chill. He do go to work, but he don't believe in the Lord. And he be saying, they don't do nothing but take your money. They lie. The preacher sleeping with everybody. It's that type of stuff right there. And I'm gonna tell you, as soon as he started saying that, I saw that. I saw that in my first relationship. My husband, he liked the streets, and I was young too, so I liked them too. But then once we had my first son, I wanted to sit still then. I didn't want the streets no more. At that point I wanted to be a mom. And he didn't. So at that point, that's when I realized that we were not equally yoked. The pastor even said, he said that you know how you have friendships. This might have been your home girl for 20 years. And he said, you've been married and your homegirl, she said she's never getting married. At that point, the relationship, in so many ways, he said it should end because you and your husband, you married, you doing married people things, but she's single and she's doing single people things. And if y'all are hanging together, you're doing some of the same things that she's doing that, at that point, y'all are not equally yoked. Your single friend and you, it don't just apply to relationships. It applies to all kind of situationships too. So you can be not equally yoked with the friends in your life as well. So even if you think about like the Jehovah Witnesses and stuff, now, in my opinion, I think they go a little far, but that's neither here nor there. But with the Jehovah Witnesses, that that they'll have a child and their child say goes astray and gets pregnant or something. The parents are not really supposed to have so much contact with that child. When that child comes to church, that child can't go to the front of the church. They have to sit in the back of the church because at that point, you're not equally yoked with that person, and no matter what relationship they are to you. So that's why I was saying with the Jehovah's, they really hit on that point about being equally yoked. You know what I'm saying? Now, us as just regular Christians, we don't go that far. We ain't finna stop talking to our kids and stuff, and da 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 and da da da. But it's that's the point. So really, the way it's supposed to be is you and your husband supposed to have friends that are husband and wife. You're not, I can't say that you can't have a single friend, but really, that's how it's supposed to be. And that's what you're supposed to aim to have is the same type of friends that have the same core values as you and your husband have. So when it comes to a man, y'all supposed to have the same core values too. Like, You can still be with a man that one of y'all go to church and one of y'all don't. But guess what? Y'all are not equally yoked, and it may last, but it's gonna be a lot of tribulation, trials and tribulations in that relationship, and it's gonna last because y'all pushed it to last. It was never meant to be. To be equally yoked, you got to have like the same traditional and family values and religious values. You can't have one that's a hard worker and one that wants to play video games all day. You have to really be equally yoked. And no matter how bad you may want somebody or love somebody, that was not the person that was for you. That was not the person that God sent you. That was just the person that you wanted. Um, I consider him, like I said, this is my second husband. Now we've been married 23 years, but I consider him my best friend. This is the one that God sent me, because this is the one that I was equally yoked. We both believe in God. We both were Christians. We both had to get to a point where we uh were real Christians, I'll say. We both got baptized together on the same day in the same water. You know what I'm saying? We don't do the streets and stuff, you know what I'm saying? We both love to travel. We both is all about family and kids and stuff. We both hard workers, you know what I'm saying? We both care about each other. Like when my husband's sick, I'm all the way in. You know what I'm saying? And I'm constantly checking on him. And he gets to the point like, babe, I'm all right, babe, I'm all right. It's okay, it's okay. Cause I do kind of go overboard. But it's the same way with me. If I'm sick, it's like he think I'm the queen of England. You know what I'm saying? Because he go overboard. But I just realized that this is the exact person that God sent me, because everything about us, we are equally yoked. I heard you asked about um some ideas or something you said about asking. What, I'm trying to think how you said it. Um Ideas or something for people that relationships or whatever. I think my favorite thing that I tell younger women sometimes is that it ain't that important. It ain't that big. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times in relationships, we let the little things become big things, and it wasn't that big in the first place. And then once you're out of that relationship and you look back on it years later down the line, you realize that you may have lost what God had in place for you. Sometimes when you get into these relationships, you be like, man, shoot, I made my own money. I ain't got to deal with that. Or I got my own family. My mama never keep you always come up with reasons why you don't have to deal with what you have to deal with. But God never said it was going to be easy. You know what I'm saying? He never said it was going to be easy. So you have to be able to listen. First of all, communication is very key. And you have to be able to put yourself in their shoes in the midst of something. We always say we'll never go to bed mad. Even if we mad, we gonna still give each other our hug and our kiss, and we still gonna pray together every night before we go to sleep. So don't let something that you're upset about, don't let it take you to a place that you can't come back from. That's about all I had to say, because I know I was late coming in. I wish I wasn't late, because I would love to sit up here and just talk all night about stuff like this. And then especially speaking with the other ladies and stuff, and we just kind of chopping up off of each other. But since I'm late, like I said, the next time you have a one, I definitely want to come in and join in. So like I said, I'll catch the replay so I can see what everybody talked about. Thank you for letting me up on.
I'm unmuted. Hopefully you can hear me. Thank you for coming up. Tosh, did you have anything before we let G&G go? Like I said, she was going to take us home. We've been over here for about 2 hours, which I truly appreciate everyone's opinions and their values, what they brought to the panel tonight. Again, this was very meaningful and this is intellectual. I love meaningful conversations where I can talk to someone, and then when I hit end this live, it is still something that I took away from this. Tasha, if you don't have anything, I'll piggyback first. G and G, before
I
you
want to
go.
know.
Um, One, I wanted to say you have not said anything that I disagree with. I fully agree with everything you actually said. It's not even, one thing I could say, but I feel like sometimes when you say but, then you're contradicting yourself. There is no but at anything you said because I truly agree with everything. You mentioned sometimes people have to just sit still and not try to like look for someone, which I fully agree. What I think is that when you stop trying to chase people, you and start to attract, you will attract the right person. Like when you just keep chasing and chasing and chasing, I just don't think that you'll find what you're looking for. So I believe in just putting in the work to heal and to be a better person and doing, building yourself up like those traits and those characteristics that you're looking for in someone, and I feel like you'll attract the same thing. So I just again agree that people need to take a step back and start focusing on themselves, and the right person will come versus them looking for that person. You also said a few other things. You talked about, just again alignment. You talked about how your first husband, you got married, you were eager to get out the home because your mom was bumping heads, and then you talked about like those signs that you were noticing from your first marriage to your second marriage. I think that that's what you were talking about. We were talking about I'm sorry, like signs that we see or things that we notice to let us know that, hey, maybe this is not for me. So we did talk about that, which you'll have to again catch the replay on that. Um, what else did you mention? Because you did mention a lot, and I was like, let me piggyback on this. Um, for the most part, those are the first two things that come to my mind right now. You also talked about again the not going to bed angry. I truly agree with that as well, and that was something we didn't get discussed about how people should pray together. I am a firm believer in that as well. I'm not a person that like just you know everything or every time there's an argument or a disagreement, we got to pick up the Bible. But I do believe in praying before you go to bed. And then that's it for me. I know there was so much more you said that I could have piggyback on, but I don't want to be too long. But I do thank you for being over here. And before you go, let me see if Tosh has anything she want to piggyback on. Anybody else in the chats, if you have anything to piggyback on before G and G goes, and then G and G before you actually goes, if you can tell me, just give me some feedback on my very first panel. What you think was good? What do you think I could do better? Because there's always room to grow, and I want to end it with just some positive feedback if you all don't mind.
Okay, I want to say it was an awesome live, great live. First time coming out. That was very powerful for us women. Some men's that was in the chat as well, but we would like to hear from men's too. You know. So what I would want to say, if you are single out there in the chat or on this panel, I know you ain't gossiping together, so don't worry about it. I want to say to us, wait for God to mold them, cause He molding us too as well to be fit for that man, for our husband, for our boys. So I would just say, allow God to mold that man so He can find you, so you can be right for Him. And that's it.
Thank you for that, Tosh. Any other feedback, G before we go for the night? And it's very late. Sunflower says, thank you for having us on the panel. Thank you again, Sunflower.
No, ma'am. Like I said, when I came in, y'all were having some very deep conversation, and I enjoyed it. I'm gonna tell you, I was shocked to see KB mommy, honey. This had to be. I really got to go back and see it because I got to see what actually made her come up because she don't do that. She don't come on this panel. So yeah, it had to be really good. You did something that I couldn't even do because I done tried to make her come on the panel many times and she won't do it. So, yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what all she had to say. I sent some congratulations when I came into the chat and I didn't know what the congratulation was about. And I seen some, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm praying and I didn't know what that was about. So I definitely want to go back and, check out the replay and I will. I definitely will. So
Well,
thank
thank
you
you
for
so
having
much.
me up. I appreciate you. You know I do and I love you.
I love you more, G and G. Thank you all so much. Tosh, I'll be in your city in a few weeks. So me, you, and Ashley Boy Mom will be
Yeah.
getting together. But thanks a lot for
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
engaging
Okay.
with you all. Yes, I'm here.
Where you going in a few weeks?
Atlanta.
In my area.
I didn't know you. Wait, Gigi, you in
What?
Atlanta too?
I'm right outside of Atlanta.
Okay, I didn't know that. You work at look. I'll be in Marietta.
Yeah, I'm about 25 minutes outside of Atlanta.
Okay, look. Well, I'm coming
Mm-hmm.
in a few weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and I definitely made sure my flights were late so that I can really get to see you all. So you are now going to be added to that list if you are free. So you all let me know.
Yeah.
Most of you all got me on the back end anyways, but it's very late. I am gonna get ready and go to
Okay.
bed now. Thank you all
All
again.
right,
I
y'all.
appreciate you
All
all.
right.
You all
Good night,
have a
everybody.
good night, everybody. And look,
Good
I hope
night,
you
y'all.
all
Love
have some
y'all.
good sleep. All righty. Good night, everybody. Thank you.